think we are. I think we are live.
Let's share a link.
Yeah, I gotta get this.
Apparently, my Wi-Fi has just been.
Oh God, I'm hearing it through two ways here. I'm gonna mute this.
What's that mean?
I got the broadcast. I'm
Oh
having to
yeah,
produce double
yeah.
duty. We aren't
I,
fancy with producers over here. What'd you do this morning? Did you watch golf? Were you dialed in,
I did. I actually
locked
was
in all
tinkering
day?
around, teaching myself how to do new audio visual production work.
How'd it go?
So substandard. I got there. I don't know how high quality it was, but I got. I'll save it for the podcast. I have questions about this morning. There was good watching this morning. Burmeister hours, Adrian Otague.
Mean Mean Dean hours?
Hey, did you know? Um,
The Mean Dean list?
this is the last major in which a Spaniard, speaking of Otague, did not make the cut since 1998 PGA.
It's
26 years without a Spain. Down bad. Get your act together, Spain.
because they didn't have Larothabal in the field.
Gonzalo Fernandez Castano. Hey, you see Jeff Overton at this Corn Ferry Tour event
Yeah,
in a bucket hat? He's like
he
fist
used.
pumping like
That's
crazy.
what he used to wear the bucket hat in his amateur days.
Oh,
That was
really?
like, yeah, that was like his look before he got to tour. And it's, people are marveling at it now, but in the early 2000s, he was a bucket hat boy. So it's just a throwback to his
Oh,
younger
people are
years.
sharing it.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Danny Raps was all over it.
Oh gosh,
Look
he
at
was. All
look
right,
at
you got
this
to
fit. Well,
mainstream.
it's like let me tell you something. If you've been around the block a little while, you know that he used to wear a bucket hat. I think he wore a bucket hat at Walker Cup at Chicago Golf, actually.
Oh, these are some facts you got. All right, should we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Contender Pretender. It's going to take 25 hours to get through.
Well, there's 35
That's what I'm saying.
contenders.
That's what I'm saying. All right, here we go. Greetings and welcome to a Saturday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is May 18th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. What can I say? I'm excited for the simulation that is the PGA Championship. We are living in a simulation, and we're gonna see who wins tomorrow. But who knows? Who knows who's gonna win? We have no clue who's playing well or who's playing like slightly better than somebody else because everybody's is just bunched together.
Simulation? Why do you choose that word?
I just think that the way the philosophy is set up that Kerry Haig has employed over the years, this is just right up the playbook, right? Get
Mhm.
get everybody in packed together so you have an awesome turn. It's an awesome recipe for exciting golf.
We got it. It's exciting leaderboard. They have to be happy and thrilled
Yeah.
with it. We'll do how far back is too far back, but I mean, God, you keep going, and it's Rory and Spieth, and they're 7 back. But we saw today there's potential for a 63, 62 to go and get it. At least put yourself in the conversation, even if you're pretty far back. It was an interesting day. Can we start off the wall real quick? Throw you
Well,
a
I was just
curveball.
real quick, but
Yeah.
while I'm on this, I think like it's a great recipe for entertainment. Which it's the question is it an entertainment product or is it a championship? Right? Is this a major championship? If it's a major championship, you'd like to identify the best player, and I don't think anything that this golf course has done has identified who. You like to see some separate. 5, 6, 7 guys that could go out and win it, and maybe one of the guys at the top shoots 63 tomorrow, and it's like, okay, he was the best this week. But right
Is
now, it's looking skeptical. It's going to be like another Harding Park where it's like, okay, if we played 73 holes, somebody else might have won. If we played 74, someone else might have won. You could have like 6 winners if you played, plus or minus 3 holes.
is it not bad that a lot of the players who are at the top of the leaderboard are reputably by statistical measures the best players in the game? Many of them. I mean,
Yeah,
that seems to be
I
indicate a
think
good.
I think the recipe is really good in terms of like providing an entertaining tournament to watch. I just don't think it's necessarily real championship golf.
The birdies were plentiful. We can throw out some of some of the stats on that as they come in. We're just recording this live now. In the middle of the day, it was the lowest third round scoring average in PGA Championship history. It was at 69.51, or it was threatening it. Bellry was 69.5 6 years ago. Valhalla was 69.57 in 2014. So a sub almost 69 and a half strokes, 2 under par almost was your scoring average. Uh, what else do we have on the scores? Justin Ray had one, follow him obviously on Twitter, 1.37 strokes under par. This was about 6 p.m. Eastern. The only time a PGA Championship round has been the field average has been lower than 1.4 under par was third round of 2014, that round we just mentioned. So it was low, it was soft, it was easy.
I think they even did the TPC Summerlin model.
They did go
two got converted.
My thing, so yeah, it just, I don't know. It gets boring. It's tiresome. Like, they come on the broadcast, IBF's like, oh, there's 7 par fours of, 480 yards, 460 yards or more. And it's like, that doesn't mean anything. And par doesn't mean anything. And for me, I know there were birdies and eagles going in everywhere. What happened, what I found to be like a little sort of flattening of everything was it seemed like bogeys were kind of hard. Like Scotty Scheffler made a few. It just feels like when you don't strike it well or strike it pure or hit the shot as you intended, it's like, okay, you kind of figure it out. You get up and down for your par, or you just, the penalty is not severe unless you're way off, like Xander there at 50, was it 15 when he airmailed deep left. So it just feels like the bogeys for mistakes, like actual mistakes, aren't there. No.
Well, I think a lot of it's soft.
Yeah.
It's just so soft. But that being said, if you line every green with thick rough and every green's like about as boring as I don't know, reading the dictionary, then there's not much going on. There's no real penalty for missing because the ball just stops. You have to miss really big. We saw like really big misses get penalized, like Scotty on 2.
Big, yeah.
Big miss.
4, Scotty on 4.
And the best players in the world, they don't miss really big very often. Brooks with the mud ball yesterday, I was on 10 when he hit it out of bounds. Those are the things that get super penalized. It is not because like, hey, I don't know. I wrote a long piece in the newsletter just about the golf course, and how it's just an obsolete golf course. What was your off the wall thing? Sorry to take it down.
No, you're good. It was.
I'm like honestly like one of the great things about golf. A great tournament can happen without a great golf course. Golf course is additive, and tomorrow's set up to have like an awesome finish. It's going to be entertaining as hell.
We'll be excited to talk about it here. Yeah, my off the wall thing, which we will talk tomorrow about, serious kind of the resolution of this championship. I'm kind of at the point where I don't think fog should delay golf anymore. I think they should have just gone out there. It's playable. You could hit it and you go try and find it. I don't think fog should delay golf tournaments or golf in like frost. I understand. Lightning, I understand. I think we're at a point in our lives where fog, they've got tracers, they got everything, just figure it out. Go hit it and try to find it. So we had a big delay this morning, another couple hours. We're finishing up the second round after yesterday's delay for, the traffic accident outside, the fatality. And then we're scrambling, going split tees and threes for just really a birdie barrage all afternoon. They get it in on time, finishes probably on schedule at 7, but a slower afternoon. So.
I thought I was shocked at how early this finished, to be completely honest.
I thought we were going to push into like 8 Eastern, 7:15 here as we record this.
How about the house cat? How about Xander? Xander might have pushed back the door back open.
It's interesting. Yeah, he's under the microscope a lot. Like and rightfully so. He's been around a lot and just not pushed through at majors. He's probably going to win one. We'll see how much we classify this as a real heavy duty major, heavyweight major. But there was a while there at the beginning. Everyone's just making everything. We thought he was just going to par out really all weekend, make 36 straight pars. He didn't. He had par his last 9 holes yesterday, finishing up Friday when it was easier then too. It just felt like he was going to par forever. Finally gets one at 7, gets the 2 par 5, 7 and 10,
and 18.
And well, yeah,
Do they even
stops the
count?
par
Are
streak.
they even birdies?
I don't know. He
Did he only
airmails it.
make one birdie? Or did he make 2? The par 3 too.
He made the par 3, the 14.
That's a great birdie. That's a great birdie.
That was a bona fide birdie.
Real quick,
threes, they're all
everybody
just the same club to the same spot. Donnie was getting at it there on the front. Whatever it is, the is it 8? Like, oh, just everybody's hitting an 8 iron right to this one little spot on the right. That's just you'll never guess. It's an 8 iron, and they just hit it to the same spot. But 14 was a big boy too.
This was in a note from a previous day that I think it was Saturday. I mean, maybe it might have been Thursdays, but they showed like the picture of it. So tomorrow they're going to show the picture of it. Just look at it. So when people talk about Jack's like design career and his affinity for like how he hit a towering high cut, the 14th hole is just right out of that playbook. It is a beefy par 3. Obviously, it's been lengthened in recent years, but when it opened, huge par 3, bunker, like the green angles left to right, bunkers front right and left, and like kind of back right and left, like just tailor made for like a guy that can hit a towering high cut long iron. It's unbelievable, actually.
JT was talking about it. He was like, 14 now. It's like 250 yards to a small shelf. Not easy. It goes, he obviously had the big moment there. He chipped in, went nuts. I double crossed a 5-wood. I was just trying to cut it in there and hit it. I hit it arguably in one of the worst spots. Basically, that shot is doable when the greens are soft. If they're normal, you basically just have to hit it as high as you possibly can. I just tried to hit it as high as I could because I was into the wind and get it land soft. And he double crossed it. But yeah, 250 small shelf. That was a big boy birdie for Xander. So he's in the middle of the fairway on 15, right? He's in the middle of the fairway. This was evocative of last week at Quail Hollow when he sort of played well, but booted it as Rory went on his run. Rory went and won that, but Xander really sort of shrunk on a few occasions with wedge in his hand in the middle of the fairways. So he's won. It was like 160, I think 165 out in the middle of the fairway, just airmails it long left into death, like the extra tall bluegrass where there's no fans. And, futzes around, chops once, chops on again, 2 putts, makes his 6. But honestly, very impressive. Very impressive to get it back with 2 birdies in the last 3 holes, get back to 15 under. He holds the 54-hole lead with Colin Morikawa, who also was pretty impressive coming in. Birdie's 18 with a moderate length putt on 18. Pretty straight, pretty flat, like a lot of them once you get on that side of that green. But yeah, a good birdie for those 2. I think there's a varying levels of questions about each of them, but I was impressed with the way Xander got it back. I'm not ready to call him anything other than a house cat yet, though.
Hey, were you more surprised by Shane Lowry's 62 or Scheffler's 73?
Scheffler 73. Because we saw a 62 out there from anyone. It could have been Dean Burmeister, Austin Eckroat. Could have been anybody was shooting 62. Now Shane Lowry's a good player. It's not shocking. I think it's shocking for Scotty, given the conditions, given that he shot a 66 out of jail yesterday, that he was really that. I don't want to say poor, but just off. He was way off. This is going to be a facile narrative. It makes me wonder about the whole Ted Scott thing.
Oh,
it blows a hole in your sort of caddy theory.
they should have hired Bones. His mistake was not getting Bones to fill in.
I think for him it works. Whatever the combo, like his career just went into overdrive. Might have gone into overdrive no matter who was on the bag at that time.
Do you think they should get a 50-50 split?
Pair. No, come on. I'm not suggesting anything crazy, but I have watched them up close several times now. And I don't think he's in driver at 4. If Ted Scott's there, nobody's like launching driver there.
So you're saying the tour's chaplain let him down? Wasn't willing to stand up and say, "Hey, Scotty."
Well, you're doing Bible study. You're not trying to tell number 1 player in the world what to hit. I mean, it's a big jump. I know the guy was a great player in his own right and all this stuff. But I mean, you're reading the Old Testament, and then all of a sudden you think you can tell Scotty Scheffler to step off and actually don't hit that? I think it's a different deal. So, but yeah, I'm not blaming his round on that. What were you more surprised by?
Scheffler 73. I mean, like, this is the first time he shot over par in 40. What was it, 41 rounds?
All year, whatever.
Yeah,
43
all year.
Something. Yeah, something like
that. I did find great humor. I mean, a wonderful moment of the broadcast is when Jim Nantz, he's finishing out. Lowry's finishing out, and Jim Nantz brings up how it's such a similar day to 63 at Royal Portrush when he won the Open. Let me tell you something. Those rounds,
I missed that.
Yeah, he basically compared it to that. It's like today's 62 and that 63 couldn't have been more different rounds. Nobody could have hit the ball the way Lowry hit it and shot 63 at Portrush. Like the 63 was one of the great rounds of all time. This was one of the great putting rounds of all time.
He has been hot with his putter, as he said, all week. Yeah, I think Nance, I guess I saw some people worked up that Nance called it Royal Prestwick in the middle of the broadcast, not just Prestwick. So people's getting worked up about that. That was your bone to pick. It's hard
about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Golf Channel PR got worked up today.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to them and who's dialed and not dialed and who's searching, figuring it out. I'm getting texts live on the air. Sean Martin is texting me, "Stop coming at the pastor!" Exclamation point. I'm not coming at the pastor. I'm just suggesting it might be hard to tell Scott, the number 1 player in the world, even if he was a good player, to no, don't do that. Do this for a day when you're there for a day. Just drop it in.
I don't understand how Ted Scott avoids the double on 6 or on 2.
Right.
Like, was he
separate issue? Separate issue.
Like, that's not. I don't know. I just think this is preposterous.
Calms him down. If there's an ethereal, there's like something in the air that he changes it. He just executes when Ted Scott's on the bag.
There's this thing called like a sample size here. We got to give the chaplain. Maybe the chaplain wants to make more money. I can't imagine that the ministry pays that well. You know?
Righteous Gemstones. You ever watch that show? It depends. Depends.
It could also be, a tour, like it could be one of those tour nonprofit line items where they're dumping cash to because they got to dump cash somewhere. But anyways, I think they got to give him a little bit longer.
I don't think he's a tour employee. I think it's unofficial. I don't know. This is something of which we don't know a lot about a lot of subjects. So this one included. Go ahead.
Him and Teddy should do a little job swap for a couple months.
They could.
What was that show that you did jobs? Well, there's wife swap. Yeah.
An insane proposition when you think about it. No, that could only get off in the high times of reality TV and the aughts.
I mean, what do you
was
think
Undercover Boss? Is that what you're getting at? I don't know what you're talking. Job swap. Okay.
I think it's Undercover Boss, but I think that when you talk about reality TV shows, my wife likes to watch some junky reality TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just marvel at the only way that somebody says yes to this is if they're clinically insane. Like that's the only way they go on. Like wife swap.
Yeah.
You have to be insane. Like, how is that ever going to end? How is your relationship ever going to end well?
You know who'd do that?
Who?
Michael Block. You got to either be insane or thirsty beyond belief.
Why are
That's
you
who
doing
does
this?
reality
Why are you
TV.
doing this to
I'm not
me?
doing
What
anything.
if Blocky tunes in and I'm playing with him? You know, he tells me I wouldn't go on Wife Swap.
It's not, that's a conversation it sounds like you should have between, walking to your ball next week. All right, should we get on schedule here? I mean, we're talking about Wife Swap and the Fog and the Chaplain quite a bit. Contender Pretender, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, 15
Oh,
under.
we're going right into Contender
Yeah,
Pretender?
Yeah, we'll finish with who's the Bushnell. Or you want to do Bushnell? Who's
Yeah,
not
we'll do
dialed?
that.
We'll do that. We'll do the Bushnell. Who's dialed? Who's not dialed? Go to bushnellgolf.com. Get your Bushnell X. I can never get it. Do you know the
X3
numbers?
Pro Plus.
X3 Pro Plus. You connect it to your phone. You know who needed that one?
Who?
The Chaplain. The Bible can do a lot for you. But on some of those, he needed his Bushnell Golf X Pro 3 Plus. X3 Pro Plus? What is it?
I think that's it. X3. It's
You
either the
connect
X3 Pro Plus or the X3 Plus Pro.
I gotta search. I went in cold on this one. You connect it to your phone. It tells you to win.
It's the X3 Plus Pro.
Pro
according to Garrett.
Pro X3 Plus. Pro X3 Plus. Rolls right off the ton. Go to bushnellgolf.com. Connects to your phone. Gives you the win. The 98.6% of PGA Tour players use Bushnell. It's the number one rangefinder in golf. Look, they've been doing it forever. Decades now. Decades. As long as Jeff Overton's been around in a bucket hat, they've been doing it. And they're
I'll
the
tell you
tried and
who's
true.
not dialed.
Who?
Us doing this ad read.
Pro X3 Plus. I got the yips on that one.
Bushnellgolf.com.
Not dialed. We've already covered him. I had him Scotty's caddy. Not dialed in was Officer Gillis's pants nor his body cam.
Not dialed. How about this? What are the chances the body cam's not working? Body cam, the body cam must have turned off when he was getting dragged.
I don't know. The other one, I had Golf Channel PR. Not dialed was Golf Channel PR. Popping back at No Lane Up, saying, you were doing work for you because No Lane Up had some criticism, similar to what we said, quite honestly, on the podcast. Where was Golf Channel when the Scotty stuff was going off, and PR Golf Channel tried to correct the record, and also point out that NLU was on ESPN, and that didn't end well.
Three times.
Three or four? One I get, but they just kept going, but with slight variations to the tweet. Instead of a dash, additional context.
Do you think they had a meeting about those tweets?
No. This is just some rogue guy that has access to the account that went Saturday afternoon and got loose and just went boop, 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 every time. So they're not dialed. It just wasn't going to end. I appreciate them trying to fight back and correct the record or their attempt to it, but that wasn't going to end well. And then Spain, I have them not dialed. First, we mentioned this. I was disappointed to see the vowel man fall off this morning. It was good coffee golf. Watching, he's got all 5 vowels in his last name. Adrian Otagwe misses the cut. We have no Spanish representation on the weekend of the major for the first time since the 1998 PGA. Who do you think's not dialed or dialed? Do you have someone? Do you have a dialed in?
Yeah,
nominee?
I had 2 dialed in
okay,
nominees.
Who you got?
Shane Lowry's putter.
Crazy.
It was insane. Just from all over the place. Also dialed in Bryson's celebration.
Gained 5.5 strokes. Shane, that's a good one. Bryson was good.
I think Bryson's best case scenario tomorrow.
Bryson winning is the best case. For who?
Just for everything. For golf. Honestly. It's actually, I've come to really appreciate him. I think he's become much more authentic. I don't think like he's fully there. He's still a weirdo. But I genuinely actually enjoy that he engages with fans. Unlike, I mean, I think like Sahith is another one that is a great case scenario on this leaderboard. But like someone that actually like, I think the YouTube thing is really cool. It's really neat that one of the best players in the world is constantly like making cool videos about golf. Like, I mean, some of them aren't my cup of tea, but some of them are like super fun. They're like, it's entertaining. And he, like, say what you will, like, he's making money off the YouTube stuff, but like, you don't love the game of golf if you're like, you have to love the game of golf to play golf professionally and to make all these YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if authentic I would go there quite yet, but I do think he loves to be loved and loves to actually interact with the fans. I think it means something to him. And whether it's kids or whoever, I do think like he gets something out of that personally, other than just trying to get a good PR bump. Yeah, he would be. I don't know if it's like best case scenario, but I love having him back. I thought he was I don't know, dark horse, but people weren't talking about him enough. It was interesting to see the three guys we talked about coming in, Rory, Scotty, and Brooks today,
Yeah.
sort of puttering out to varying degrees. Rory got hot there, but really, he talked after a round, pretty frustrating. But then you have so much talent. It's like a Bryson, a Xander, a Colin Morikawa. That it's like they're the ones that are there come Sunday, along with 10 other guys. But I would love Bryson to do it. I'll go with him as you're dialed in. I love the fist pump. That's two in a row. That's two in a row for me with Greenbrier when he shot 58 and he jumped high in the air. He's got some like spontaneous, authentic juice to him that doesn't look that awkward all the time. But he's a showman. All right, let's go contender pretender.
All right, Xander.
Contend. I mean, I can't say he's a pretender. He's 15 under. He's leading the tournament with 18 to play.
Let's start before we get into this. How far back is too far back?
An interesting proposition, given we just watched a 62. Probably be a little harder on Sunday.
There's 62 who didn't hit the ball well.
No, that's the thing.
That's the caveat.
Lowry's like, I've putted like shit, but hit it great all year, and then all of a sudden I'm not playing well. The last 3 days my putters carried me. So, leads at 15 under. 62's 9 under. You gotta imagine the winning score is going to be what?
I think it's got to get to 18, right?
Yeah, I would say at the very, very minimum 17. Probably the lowest is 18.
17's the very lowest it can be.
Very lowest. I mean, that's just house cats running and hiding up front if it stays at 17.
It's feasible. It's feasible.
It is.
It
is. Run into the basement and hide.
These names at the top have some history of hiding in the wrong way, not running away and hiding, running down and hiding in the warmth of the running into the warmth of the blankets of the pack.
Okay, so say it's all right. Let's say it's 17 to really stretch things here. That would mean 8 undershoot 62. We're really trying to stretch it. 8 undershoot 62. They get to 17. Would you go any lower than 8?
You just got Spieth into contention.
I didn't say contention. I said too far back. There's a subjective line here. We're talking.
I think about 9. I think 9. You could go in tomorrow feeling like you got a shot if you're at 9.
All right. Well, let's do game within the game at 8. Rory versus Spieth.
I mean,
this would be a blow.
It's got to be Rory.
I think so too. I agree. I mean, Spieth was holing out like from these miracle hole outs.
That had to be the highest that Rory could have shot today.
Yes. God, he was locked in. Looked like he was going for 62 or 1. I think it's Rory game within the game. So you're taking Rory and Spieth out of it, even the way
I don't
Rory
think-
looked there in the middle of the round.
No, I mean, you shoot 62. You have to just pray that everybody else doesn't do anything. There's no way. There's none of this.
Okay.
None of this golf course.
Okay.
This golf
when he
course
wins tomorrow.
Like, I mean, so what you're saying, if you think 17 can win, this is why 17 can't win. You're saying that Xander and Morikawa, neither of them are going to shoot 68.
69. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You're going to say Sahith isn't going to shoot 67. I think where it gets weird is like the Shane, Bryson, and Hovland. None of those guys are going to shoot 66 or better.
Yeah. I don't know. Honest to God, I mean, Morikawa and Xander today, it felt like they were stalled at 13 all day.
Here's the thing, though. 61's not out of the question here. 60 isn't. That's the legitimate thing here. Like, Lowry didn't hit the ball well today, and he missed a really easy putt for 61.
Yep. He
didn't
parred
birdie
the
18.
par fives too, right?
Yeah, both the par fives on the back nine.
On the back.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have a hard time believing that 8 with this. There's just too many guys.
Okay, let's go up the chain then. Taylor Moore, 9 under, contender, pretender.
No, we're not doing all these.
Lucas Herbert, contender, pretender.
Is he? Wow, he's right there.
Keegan Bradley, contender, pretender.
No, none.
No.
JT
at 10.
I don't think so. I don't think he putts well enough. I had a note from the other day. Is it time for the broom for JT?
That is never going to happen. He's got like a vanity about him, right? Where it's like the metal spikes and the Titleist boy. And I just don't, it's Scotty, this, that, and the other. I don't think he's ever going to anything but standard length blade putter would be my guess. But maybe he goes, well, you think he's putting that poorly?
I mean, he's terrible on the year.
He lost 2 strokes today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like holing out left and right. On the tournament, he's 62nd on the 70th on the tournament. So he's almost dead last in putting of the players that made the cut. Like, I don't know.
I think 10's a long way back.
I think 10 could get it done because you could go there. That's where you could shoot 63 and win at 10.
I agree. You got to be someone like Rory that I feel like really comfortable with shooting a 60.
Is Tony Finau contender, pretender?
Pretender. He'd be a pretender at 14. Let's be honest.
That putter. Tom Dietrich. That was tough today with Tom.
That was what did you? Yeah, he got the hole out of 4. Yeah.
What about Lee Hodges passing kidney stones?
I've never had to pass a kid. It sounds terrible.
I never want to.
Among the horrible, like if there's a way to avoid doing that, I will happily do it. Eat better, whatever it is. I don't know how that.
I think you're supposed to. Isn't there some sort of juice that you drink to?
I don't know. But no, I mean this is the kind of course you can be passing kidney stones and going to jail and shooting. And you're in the top 20. I like nothing happened. Dean Burmeister, contender, pretender, 11 under. The Burmeister playing well, loves live. You probably got Louis at home with tears in his eyes, watching his Stinos, just like there.
He didn't even show up.
I know. Maybe he just maybe they said it's either you or Burmy, and he said give it to Burmy. He's played well. Won the South African Open, doing well.
I don't think Mean Dean is a. We might not do a pod if Mean Dean wins.
Okay.
That might be a cancel. We might cancel the pod if Mean Dean. That's worst case scenario, right?
That's worst case. That is worst case scenario. I mean, Lee Hodges shooting 62 and winning, I think is worse. Like the 3M. It's exactly what he did at the sod farm. That would be amazing.
How about the 3M correlation here? You got Lee Hodges in the mix.
Who's always won there.
Finau, Morikawa, Bryson.
Thick boy.
Victor played well there, right?
I don't remember. Probably.
The
That's
big. I
interesting.
wonder if there's a big sod. Honestly, sod farm might be harder than here because I think it's a par 72 to par.
Let's get Justin Ray on the correlation, the overlap between sod farm, TPC sod farm, and this.
Lots of sod farm in this leaderboard.
All right, Harris English is 10 under.
I'm not gonna put him in the contender.
All right, let's get into the Bobby Mack.
Do we have JT if he switches to the lab putter
overnight?
How about the man from Oban?
We have people messaging us with audio pronunciation guides. Oban. It's Oban. Well,
big shot Bobbin in it. Pretender.
I'm still scarred from the Ryder Cup.
Rosie, pretender. I think it's a pretender. I've seen too many Sundays of Rosie in the later years to believe it.
12 under. Have we said anyone's a contender?
I think we're getting to the range here.
Okay,
I don't think Lowry's a contender. He's my last X off.
At 13 under, he starts the day 2 back. He just shot 62.
I think that's like a 68 moment. Tomorrow, 69. Yeah. He's not going to get anything going.
We're getting messages that your video is blurry.
Oh.
Well, we're going. The audio's here. I can see you.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It's out of my control.
I guess I'm getting crystal clear. I love this. Comcast is just jamming you.
Listen, we haven't dropped. That's the key. We haven't had any drops.
We haven't frozen up
since Tuesday.
We've been, we went too hard at Golf. You were the one that was shouting about Golf Channel not being on the air yesterday, and now your connection's batted. There's definitely a relation. All right, Lowry's a cross-off. Bryson and Hovland at 13 under.
Contenders. Maybe not Hovland. I might not go Hovland. What do you think?
I think now he's back in the flock, back in the monk. He's preaching with the monk.
Is that what the chipmunk, a pack of chipmunks is called, a flock?
No. I'm talking about as a preacher man, a monk who's preaching to his flock. That might
we could say back. We could say back in the mayo jar, back in the jar.
So stupid. He's playing well. He's a contender. He's just too good tee to green, and this is such a just execution of like hit it here, hit it there, hit it far here, and he does that. He always has. But
I'll tell you what, if Hovland wins, that's going to be tough for the chef, for the short game chef.
Why? Did he have
him and Mayo?
Yeah,
him and Mayo don't get along. I don't think. I believe that
it's a short game squabbles. It's like the Sharks and the Jets. Real war. All right, I think they're both
short game troubles.
They're both contenders. Honest to God, Bryson and Hovland could both shoot 65 tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Either could. It's conceivable. I don't know if they will.
I feel like Bryson's going to shoot a 65. Okay. Just feels like, he's got that. If you think back to that, when he won Bay Hill, one of the things since he went to that arm lock putter is he seems to make like really important putts. Like momentum putts, like he's just got that kind of like it's the same thing a lot of the great players have. Like Scotty, I feel like makes a lot of like 15 footers. And Bryson just kind of has that knack. So what about Sahith? I want to believe.
I hate to do it. I think he's a pretender. I just think like he is sloppy. Right? Like he does like the shuffler thing we saw today, hitting it. He just makes a sloppy mistake each round. And you can win the safe way and you can contend at other places. I don't trust it. What do you think? It's stupid to say he's a pretender. He's one shot off the lead. But I'm not there yet. What
I
about
don't
you?
think he's. I don't think he's gonna be. I think honestly, like I think he gets like amped up. Like he's gonna be too amped. If that, this
He's
is
an
like
excitable boy.
he is. I love
I
him
love it.
too.
Yeah, he's great. Great guy.
You know, I always reference my my casual golf fan text chain.
Yeah.
It was at it today, and someone asked me, "Is there any reason to root for Xander Schauffele? Like, is there any? Do you have any reason? Like, can you give me a reason to root for him?" And I replied, "No, I have nothing." And then
He
and
and
then
Morikawa are both content. Go ahead. Sorry.
and
Cut
then
you off.
the same person said, "It's. I think I really like Sahith," and I was like, "That's a good person to like. That's a good golfer to root for." Like very interesting, engaging, down to earth, normal, you know.
Can I just make a quick point that this leaderboard is dotted with American economic and cultural diversity? I
It
don't know.
is.
Just a quick thing. Like those three Southern Californians in the last group, none of them are like I don't think Xander is. Maybe I'm wrong. But Sahith, Morikawa, pretty stand. Bryson didn't come from a ton of money. You've got Finau in there. Uh, JT, maybe, whatever, the son of a pro. But it's just interesting. We pop the game as being elitist and a bunch of rich kids who make it to the pros, but that's often not the case for
There
Americans.
might be
So
something about not being rich and succeeding in pro golf.
I think you may be right. Um, okay, so
Like
Xander and
Rory would be
Colin.
another example of that, where
Yep.
parents worked, basically all day, all night to support his golf.
Yep. So Xander and Colin are contenders. I think we've limited it to Xander, Morikawa, DeChambeau, Hovland. And
And
did we
if
say
JT switches to a broomstick.
Okay, so a
So
bunch
there you go.
leaderboard, but we're not throwing a lot of names out there.
There's your
In the
definitive betting
set.
guide from the world's premier betting podcast.
Who's your winner? Who are you picking to win?
I just think it's going to be Bryson.
He's a thick boy. Yeah,
What about you?
I like Bryson.
I like Morikawa. I mean, like if I
Morikawa.
was going to go other than Bryson, I think Morikawa. It'd be crazy if Morikawa gets 3. It's kind of nutty, right?
At Harding Park, Royal St. George's, and Valhalla.
Yeah.
The St. George's.
Two with no fans and one, questionable whether we were playing at TPC Sod Farm or a major championship.
He was in the final group at the Masters a month ago. Like he's playing. Like I don't know why we are skeptical of him. I guess there's some scar tissue. He doesn't seem to get the sort of respect like we do of, I don't know, Brooks or Rory.
Can we talk about on 15?
Yeah.
How he hit 5 iron in?
Oh, what was that? What was he trying to do there?
What is it, 15 or 16? The 500 plus yard par 4. I think it's 15. Bryson hit a pitching
16,
wedge.
16.
So Bryson hit a pitching wedge. Morikawa hit 5 iron. And I think that's why you're skeptical of him.
It was weird, though. It was kind of a weird lie, and he was trying to send it way out there. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. But yes, you're right. He was way back. He had to hit a 5 iron.
I mean, Xander's killing the ball.
Murdering
He's in
it.
So far.
Way past Sahith. Way past both of them. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that's why there's Morikawa doubt. And he
Bryson
just hasn't won in a while.
I think we both like Bryson to win. He's 2 back of the lead. So should be good. Should be really exciting. Any other notes you want to clean up? Anything, odds and ends, amusements you want to get out? We talked about the course.
Can't wait for my mentions after the newsletter.
Oh, well, you know what? If you just say nice things about everything, nobody knows what's good and bad. If something doesn't appeal to you, I think we're incumbent upon us to say why we don't like it and explain it, other than we think it stinks. If it doesn't appeal to you and you have good reasons, you should write about it. And people will need to get their, all worked up about it. Anybody from Miss the Cut, now that they made that cut officially? That really
why don't we do Miss the Cut tomorrow?
I was
do it
gonna
on the
say,
wrap
I
up
don't really
show.
want to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Ron,
This is
we'll talk
we're
about it.
15 minutes over what we said we were going to do.
Talk to
30
you
minutes.
on Sunday. We'll wrap it all up. Should be an awesome
It's going to
day
be, yeah,
to watch.
it's going to
Should be a
be
great
exciting. Super
final round.
exciting.
Talk to you then.